Farhanad, I've seen we are setting jack pads under the crane's outriggers. How do we actually figure out what size pad we need?
Great question, Gabrielle. It's a calculated process, not guesswork. We start with the maximum load one outrigger will carry. For this crane and this lift, the manufacturer's specs say one outrigger might carry up to 120,000 pounds.
Okay, so that's the vertical force we need to support. What comes next?
Next, we check the ground bearing capacity, how much load the soil or rig pad can support per square foot before it starts to deform. This depends on the soil type. Different types of ground have different conservative capacities.
Like what kinds?
Let me give you a quick rundown based on conservative estimates. Soft clay can only take about 1,000 to 2,000 pounds per square foot. Medium dense sand or firm clay might take around 2,500 to 3,000 pounds per square foot. Compact gravel or dry sand with good drainage can handle 3,000 to 4,000 pounds per square foot. And concrete surfaces or rig pads with reinforcement, they can handle 5,000 pounds per square foot or more. In our case today, we're working on compacted gravel and sand mix, so we'll use a conservative estimate of 3,000 pounds per square foot.
Got it. So we're assuming 3,000 pounds per square foot for the soil.
Right, now we calculate the required pad area using a simple formula. Required pad area in square feet equals outrigger load in pounds divided by ground bearing capacity in pounds per square foot. Required pad area equals 120,000 divided by 3,000 equals 40 square feet.
So we need a pad that covers at least 40 square feet to spread that load safely.
Exactly, but the shape matters too. If we're using a square pad, we take the square root of 40, which gives about 6.3 feet, so we round up and recommend 6.5 feet by 6.5 feet. For a circular pad, it would need to be just over 7 feet in diameter to give us the same area.
Makes sense. And the material for the pad, it has to be tough enough, right?
Absolutely. The pad material must withstand compressive forces. On site we usually use HDPE composite pads for mobility and toughness, or steel for extreme conditions. We never rely on untreated wood, especially in moist or soft ground. It can absorb water and deform.
So just to recap, we had an outrigger load of 120,000 pounds, we assumed a ground bearing capacity of 3,000 pounds per square foot based on soil conditions, calculated a required pad area of 40 square feet, and chose a 6.5 by 6.5 foot pad. And we should use strong materials like HDPE or steel, and always consider a safety margin.
Perfect recap. And yes, always build in a 1.5 to 2x safety factor, especially if the soil is soft or uneven, or if water seepage is possible. Better safe than sorry. Ground failure during lifting is one of the worst case scenarios. Once you've calculated the required area of the jack pad, the thickness becomes critical to ensure the pad can withstand the pressure without bending, cracking, or failing. Let's break it down simply. The required thickness of the pad depends on 1. Load per pad from the outrigger. 2. Pad material strength HDPE, steel, hardwood, etc. 3. Pad size. Larger pads may flex more if not thick enough. 4. Load duration and environmental conditions, static versus dynamic loads, hot sun, soft soil, etc. Simple rule of thumb for thickness. For HDPE, high density polyethylene pads, for loads up to 50,000 pounds, right pointing arrow 2 inches thick. For loads between 50,000 and 100,000 pounds, right pointing arrow 3 inches thick. For loads between 100,000 and 150,000 pounds, right pointing arrow 4 inches thick. For very heavy lifts 150,000 pounds or more, right pointing arrow use 5 to 6 inches thick or consider steel pads. For common materials, material compressive strength thickness range. HDPE approximately 3000 psi 3 inches to 6. Steel 25,000 to 40,000 psi 1 to 2, usually enough. Hardwood 1000 to 1500 psi 4 or more, depends on grain and moisture. If unsure, go thicker. Under-specifying thickness is a safety hazard. Don't rely on thin or worn-out pads for heavy lifts. Always inspect for cracks, warping, or wear before each use.